And this week's topic is Schema Drift. So first off, Schema Drift is a tool that I've built for comparing schema between different databases. And what does it compare? Well, it compares all of the different schema objects that you may have in your database. Things like tables, triggers, users, rules, roles, partition functions, primary keys, foreign keys, functions, stored procedures, everything that you've got in your database that can be changed over time. So a little bit of background on the history of this. So this is something, I'm going to click on my beta notes here because technically the Schema Drift is still in a beta. I started on this in late 2015 and in early 2016, February 2016, which is, gosh, 9 years ago, I had the initial beta release of this. And then I did some updates over the next several weeks. And then eventually by June, we'd done another beta release. And then after getting that release out, we started having some issues. And the issues were, I was using the SQL Server SMO objects, which are some COM objects that you can use to be able to talk to the database. And it's the kind of stuff that's used inside a SQL Server Management Studio in order to display things. But what I found was, depending on the different versions of SQL Server, different management studios, whether they had Management Studio installed or not, things like that, we ran into a lot of issues with the SMO objects. And I don't know if it was just that I was using them wrong, and maybe I don't want to bash on them that way, but Schema Drift got really, really difficult to use in a lot of environments that didn't have the right SMO objects installed or available. So kind of tabled the project for a bit, and then in 2021 came back and started working on it again. And in order to revitalize the project, I updated to the new SMO objects and got the project going again. Well, then it turned out we had the same problem with the SMO objects not always being there, not being the version we expected, and all that kind of stuff. So in 2024 of October, a few months ago, we started out with a complete rewrite of all the different scripts and eliminating the need for the SMO objects. And then through November and December, we've got more developers besides just me on it now. Mitchell helped out with us some as well. And we went into internal testing and preparation for beta. And we started beta in December. And then in January, we had our first real official beta release of this. Found a few bugs with that, and we're improving them. And then this last update of database health that just came out a week or so ago has the latest beta release of Schema Drift as well. Or you can download it independently at schemadrift.com. But the idea is, things are way faster and way more stable than they were before. And we have total control over how we're doing the differences because we threw out the use of those SMO objects and did everything as T-SQL to find and list and show how we're doing the differences on all the different tables and databases and things. So that's a little bit of history.